The passenger door clicks shut behind you, sealing you inside. The sound is heavy, metallic, final. Outside, the world keeps moving, people walking, cars passing, a woman with a stroller crossing the street without looking up, but in here, the air is still sealed. You tell yourself, it's just a nice car. You tell yourself the man in the driver's seat has a kind smile. But your hand is already on the door handle, and you haven't even buckled your seatbelt yet. The interior smells like new leather and something else underneath, faint, chemical, like a hospital corridor after hours. The seats are plush, sinking you in deeper than you expected, the kind of seat that makes it hard to sit upright, hard to stay alert. The dashboard is clean, almost sterile. No coffee cup in the cup holder, no receipts stuffed in the visor, no sign that this car belongs to anyone who lives a normal, cluttered life. He turns the key, and the radio comes on soft, instrumental music, the kind they play in hotel lobbies. It's soothing, too soothing, deliberately soothing. Your skin prickles. The air conditioning blows cool air across your arms, raising goosebumps along the inside of your wrists. You try to laugh, to say something casual, but your throat has gone tight and the laugh comes out wrong. He glances at you, his eyes moving across your face slowly, methodically, like he's reading something and wants to make sure he hasn't missed anything. "Comfortable?" he asks. His voice is smooth, practiced. The voice of someone who has had this conversation before and knows exactly how it goes. You nod, unable to speak. He starts driving. The city blurs past the windows. You watch it go and you think about how many people are out there right now, how close they are, how easy it would be to open the door and step out at the next red light. And then he accelerates through a yellow and the moment passes. You try to make conversation, because conversation feels like control. "So where are we headed, you ask?" Keeping your voice light. He smiles. "Somewhere quiet," he says. "I know a place." You nod, trying to arrange your face into something that looks relaxed. But your eyes are moving now, cataloging the car. There are no door handles on the inside. You look again. There is a handle, of course there is, but it sits at an angle that looks slightly wrong, slightly modified, and you tell yourself you're imagining things because people don't do that. People don't actually remove the interior door handles from their cars. But you don't reach for it either. Not yet. Then you see the photograph. It's tucked into the corner of the windshield between the glass and the dashboard, a small square photograph in a thin plastic frame. You lean forward slightly. It shows a woman. She's smiling, posed in front of what looks like a park, a tree in bloom behind her. But her eyes are wrong. Not vacant, exactly. More like the smile and the eyes belong to different photographs, like the expression was assembled from parts that don't quite fit together. You look away. Your heart is going fast now. A steady, insistent knock against your ribs that you can feel in your fingertips. It's just a photo. People keep photos. Maybe it's his sister. Maybe it's an ex-girlfriend, someone he's still fond of, someone he misses. There are 100 innocent explanations, and you run through all of them in about 4 seconds. None of them stop your heart from knocking. His smile hasn't changed, that's the thing. Since you got in the car, since before you got in the car, since the moment he offered you a lift and you said yes because it was raining and you were tired and he seemed normal, his smile has not changed once. Most people's faces move, they shift, they flicker, they respond to things. His doesn't. It just sits there on his face, steady and patient, like something he put on this morning and doesn't plan to take off. The car turns off the main road onto a side street. The buildings thin out. The foot traffic disappears. Houses give way to fields, and the fields give way to the kind of empty that feels intentional. He keeps talking, his voice never wavering, never losing that smooth, practiced cadence. "I love this part of town," he says. "It's so peaceful. You can really think out here." You nod. Your hands have found the edge of the seat and are gripping it. The leather is cool and slightly tacky under your palms. You look out the window. The sun is setting. long orange shadows stretching across the road, and under other circumstances you'd call it beautiful. Right now it means the light is going. Right now it means that in 15 minutes it will be dark and no one knows where you are. The car slows. He pulls onto the shoulder of the road in front of a row of warehouses, dark, shuttered, the kind of buildings that have no reason to be occupied at this hour. He kills the engine. The radio stops mid-phrase. The silence comes down like something physical. You look at him. He's still smiling. "We're here," he says. He unlocks the doors. "You can go now," he says. You stare at him. The relief that moves through you is so strong it makes you dizzy. You actually laugh. The sound comes out shaky and too loud. "Really?" you say. "Really?" he says. "I just wanted to talk. I get lonely sometimes." He leans back in his seat, his hands loose behind his head, his whole body relaxed in the way of someone who has nothing to hide. "You seem like a nice person," he says. "I didn't want to scare you." And just like that, the fear starts to drain away, and what replaces it is something almost like embarrassment. You overreacted. You sat in this man's car for 20 minutes running catastrophic scenarios in your head while he just wanted company. You reach for the door handle. Your fingers close around the cool metal. You pull. The door doesn't open. You pull again, harder, nothing. You look at the lock button. It's down. But he just unlocked it. You heard the sound. You look at him and his smile is wider now. Just a fraction wider, just enough, the smile of someone watching something unfold exactly as expected. "I said, 'You can go,'" he says softly. "I didn't say the door would open." You look at the handle again, then back at him, then at the handle. Your brain is running fast, burning through explanations, burning through solutions, and finding none of them. He reaches past you with one arm, not grabbing you, just reaching, adjusting something near the door frame that you can't quite see, and when he pulls his hand back, the lock button is still down, and nothing has changed. He leans forward, you pull back, his hand moves and you don't see it coming, and his grip is around your wrist before you've finished the thought. The cold of his skin is the first thing you register, not the pressure. The cold. His hand is cold in the way that things are cold when warmth has left them. You yank your arm. He doesn't let go. You reach for the door with your other hand, and he catches that one too, both wrists now, held against the seat back, and his grip is not crushing, it's just absolute. The grip of someone who has calculated exactly how much force is required and is using precisely that amount. No more, no less. You kick and your feet connect with the underside of the dashboard once, twice, and he doesn't flinch. You open your mouth. He presses his thumb against your throat, lightly. Just enough that you feel it, just enough that the sound doesn't form the way it needs to. He's still smiling. "It's okay," he says. His voice is the same voice it's been the entire time. Smooth, practiced, patient. You don't need to scream. We're just going to talk. You don't talk about what happened after that. Not here. Not in detail. Not to anyone who wasn't in that car. And even then. You just want people to understand that you didn't come out the same. That the smell of new leather is now the smell of your own personal hell. That you can't sit in the passenger seat of a car without your hands going cold. That the particular quality of silence that follows the radio being turned off is a sound you will carry for the rest of your life. But you don't describe what happened between the thumb against your throat and the moment the door finally opened. You can't. Not because you don't remember. You remember everything. You remember it in a way that makes forgetting feel like a luxury you will never be able to afford. But because describing it would make it exist in the world outside you, and right now, the only thing standing between you and complete collapse is the fact that it stays inside, contained, yours alone to carry. So you leave it there, in the silence. You let the listener imagine, and what they imagine will have a floor, a place where the mind stops and says, "No, that's too far." Yours doesn't have that floor anymore. They found you. Eventually, You know that because you're here, because you're talking, because there was a door that opened and cold air that came in and hands that weren't his reaching for you. You remember the sirens, distant at first and then suddenly close. You remember someone saying your name. You remember a blanket that smelled like plastic and the particular brightness of a flashlight in your face and someone asking, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And you remember thinking, "Yes, I can hear you. I can hear everything. I will always be able to hear everything from now on because something in me that used to be able to tune things out has been permanently broken open." But the middle part, the part between the thumb and the sirens, that's yours. You keep it locked away in the same place. You keep the things you can't say out loud. You visit it sometimes at night when the sleep won't come and the room is too quiet and your hands have gone cold again for no reason. You visit it and then you come back. That's the work. Going there and coming back. Going there and coming back. You don't sleep well anymore. You check the locks. You check them again. You sit in the passenger seat of cars and you track the door handle with your peripheral vision and you note where the lock button is and you calculate the distance to the road and you run the numbers before the car is even started. Moving. You do this automatically now. You do it the way you breathe. You see a man with a kind smile on his face, a steady, unchanging kind smile, and something in your body responds before your brain does, something old and animal and correct, and you move. You don't explain, you don't look back, you just move. You survived, you know that. You hold it like a fact, like a fixed point on the nights when everything else shifts. But surviving and being okay are not the same thing. Someone told you that once, a woman in a small office with a plant on her desk, and at the time you nodded because nodding was what you did in those rooms. Now you understand what she meant. Surviving is the thing that happened in the car. Being okay is everything that comes after. It's slower, it's harder. It doesn't have a moment where the door opens and the cold air comes in and someone says your name. You're still working on the okay part. Some days it's closer than others.